Welcome to a live episode of Social Kick Podcast. I'm Brian Lundquist, joined by Dr. John Mullen, and we are excited to be here in Northwest Arkansas for the Walmart Oz Mile, joined by two elite pros who I've known for a while, but thanks for being here. Catherine Breed, Chad Tourette, welcome.
Yep.
So we got a quick rapid fire for you to start this thing off. Cat, what is the last song you'd want stuck in your head during an open water swim?
Like the worst song. The worst song?
The worst song or artist?
I think the song that goes like, it's blue, but do you have it? That would be the worst one. Sure.
Man, I actually like that song. All right, Chad, on to you. In an open water race, would you rather get elbowed in the face or goggles, or kicked in the crotch?
Crotch, no question. Gotta keep the goggles on.
You heard it, crotch 100% for him.
All right, Kat, you've been stung by lots of jellyfish in your open water swims. Would you let Chad pee on you to soothe the sting?
No.
Bonnie took way too much pleasure in that question.
Absolutely not.
All right, Chad, on to you here. So, in a 1 mile open water event, what's the coldest you would swim in?
Probably like low 50s. I think I can last like 52 degrees, maybe like 15, 20 minutes, and then you're like, gotta get out. So,
Wait, Kat, do you agree with that?
That's not fair.
I mean, I did 11 hours in 52 degree water, so I think I'd probably like 48 would be my limit.
I think we've established which one's tougher.
I mean, it's not a
No
competition,
question.
right? Brian, what would you say yours is? 70?
76.
There you go, exactly. So, hey, we're not trying to compete with these two.
All right, Kat.
It's still
It's
okay.
Plus, which animal would scare you the most if you saw it in the water? Shark, a crocodile, or piranhas?
Piranhas.
Same question. How about you, Chad?
same piranhas.
They would all scare the hell out of me. And I'm pretty sure Kat already had a run-in with a shark in the water, so. Okay, so we're here for this open water race, and you two have both established a career as elite pool swimmers that have transitioned into open water swimming. First, I'd love for you each to just kind of go through what your experience has been in open water swimming. And Chad, if you could share first, just give us a sense of your background. You shared a little bit yesterday and last night about like your level, but give everybody here a little deeper sense of how good of a swimmer you are, and maybe even sort of what type of pace that you swim an open water mile in.
Sure. So my open water experience actually started. I kind of like started open water swimming. I grew up in Orange County, California. It's where Disneyland is. That's the easiest way to explain geographically. It's about an hour south of LA. And my club team was really big into occasional like pier swims or drive down to San Diego, cove swims, that kind of thing. And so they kind of like sprinkled that throughout the season, intermixed with club swimming. It's a club that was very like distance swimming oriented. So these like 1, 2, 3 mile, Southern California ocean swims fit really well into the training we were already doing. And it was also fun because it meant no pool practice that day. We were going to go hang out on the beach, probably body surf after, and kind of forget a little bit about tomorrow, which would be 10,000 meter practice, which was terrible. So that's going on Mission Viejo though. And then after that, basically, was a pool swimmer. Grew up mostly competing pool events, save those occasional open water races, and was happy enough, kind of like transitioned to being a distance swimmer, pool distance swimmer. 2006, 2007 was the point where they started to solidify that the 10K was going to be an Olympic event in the open water. And at that point, I was like, well, I grew up swimming open water. I swim distance, so natural fit, crossover. I should start doing more of these, and obviously throw my hat in the ring to become a potential Olympic contender, but also just start going to open water nationals because there's lots of cool world champ opportunities and stuff like that. So that's what I started doing. Went to at least 3, maybe 4 national championships. Fort Myers, so both open water swimming, good place to have it. Very warm water. Couple hammerheads here and there, but nothing too gnarly. And did really well. Usually was in the top 4 or 5. Once 2008 rolled around, they had the qualifier, so it was open water championships, which were, if you got top 4, you'd go on to Worlds, and if you got top 2, you compete in the 10K at Worlds, and if you got top 10 at Worlds in the 10K, you would go to the Olympics. So I got 4th at the nationals, so I got to go to the world championships. I swam at 5K. So I wasn't competing to make an Olympic spot, but I still got to go and swim in Spain, and get to watch these guys contest for the Olympic spots, and also got to basically compete against all the same guys in the 5K in Spain, and got 4th, which was awesome. I was like so excited. I was one outside the medals, but like really stoked on that. After that, I think I really enjoyed swimming open water, but was off to college and kind of started transitioning into short course swimming, putting a bit more time into pool swimming, and just kind of forgetting about open water as an opportunity, and never really went back to it too seriously. So continued to compete competitively through 2013 World Champ Trials. After that, and I was on the national team on the stipend, basically kind of retired after that meet, and took about a 2.5-year break, and just like trying to find my footing, like new college grad, new in the workforce, trying to figure out what an adult's what being an adult's like, living on your own, finding new friends. I was living in San Francisco at the time, so that was all great. And a couple of my buddies started swimming at the Olympic Club in downtown SF. Like, it's awesome. They kind of give you a good rate if you compete for them. They have a pool team. It sucks. They have a rough water team. It's awesome. And I was like, well, that sounds cool. I'll go to a few races and see what it's like. The races were you go swim like a mile, 2, 3 miles in wine country and drink beer, drink wine after. So I was like, I'm going to do the rough water team.
I can get down with that.
Yeah. So could I, and here I am, like 8 years later.
So you're here for the beer.
I'm always here for the beer. But it was also this like great continuity between all the things that I loved about being part of the swimming community, but carrying over none of the stuff that was like really intense or a lot of pressure. Like racing, I love, but with racing comes really hard training, stress. Big lifestyle commitments, and so this was like a really fun community, doing these races, less serious, new friend group, and just felt like you were part of something that was a little bit different, but it was still your sport underneath it all. And so that's kind of been my like weave through to this point, but yeah, it feels.
Yeah, and just for context, you're an NCAA champion in the pool. You're a national champion in the pool, and so you're swimming at a very elite level. What type of pace do you think you expect to swim? An American record holder. Let's not forget that.
I like glossed over all the pool stuff. So was a big mile swimmer and had the American record for about 2 or 3 years. But
what was that American record?
It was in the 1650. That was. So Chris Thompson's record was 14:26 for like 15 years, I think, or so. Maybe it's less than that. But it was like one of the last swim records standing that hadn't been broken for a while. And my senior year, I broke it, and I actually didn't win. The guy who won was a tenth or two faster, but he was German, so couldn't get the American record. And that was, I looked it up, 52 seconds per 100, which I can't really comprehend anymore.
Anybody here can swim 52 seconds per 100 yards. For one.
I can't even push like a 13-second 25 these days, so like I struggle to. But tomorrow I'd say, with good conditions, pretty flat lake. It's only a mile, but a mile's on the shorter end for us. I'm gonna guess like right around 105 100 yards. And I'll tell you after the race because we'll log out our watches, but that's what I'm gonna guess.
That's next level. Okay, well, thanks for that background, Chad. Kat, your experience in open water is a bit different. You've done some competitions, of course, but your big thing is doing these gigantic open water swims solo, no wetsuit. You've just completed a recent swim from the Golden Gate Bridge to Mavericks and Half Moon Bay, 27 miles. I don't even really want to swim an entire mile, so the fact that you're doing 27 in a row is completely unfathomable. Give us a sense of the other swims that you've done, kind of your open water experience, and if you could share a bit about your recent swim.
Yeah, so my kind of like intro, how did I get into open water swimming? I grew up swimming in the bay, and sailing was what my family did on the weekends. So we were sailing in the bay, sailing around the Pacific Ocean, so I was very familiar with the ocean. I swam at Cal, I had a decent career there, not exactly what I wanted it to be, but when I graduated, I still loved the sport, which I'm really grateful for. And when I graduated, I wasn't ready to give up swimming as a whole, so I got introduced to the Dolphin Club, which is an open water swimming and rowing club in San Francisco, and people noticed I'm pretty good at this, and that I wasn't getting cold, and I enjoyed the long distances, so I got pressured into doing the English Channel, as one's friends do. So I got pressured into the English
Every day
Channel.
I'm fighting off requests from you.
Yeah, Chad will do it one day. But I did the length of Lake Tahoe, and I broke that record. It was like the 30-year-old record. I was the first person ever under 9 hours. And then English Channel, I did a few other, I think I've done like 7 ultra marathon swims by now. And for me, I just love being able to spend all day in the ocean and challenge myself, like how tough am I? Can I swim through jellyfish? Can I swim through waves? Can I swim through cold water? And, every time I do, and it's like, well, maybe the next one needs to be a little harder. And, I just hope to inspire people along the way to do 1 mile. If I can do 27, you can do 1.
Wow.
My recent, last week on Wednesday, I swam, 27 miles down the coast of California. Hasn't been done before, and it's kind of been a dream for a few years. So we finally got the crew together, logistics, and we made it happen. It took 12 and a half hours, and it went splendid. It honestly, it could not have gone any better. So really grateful.
Can you elaborate a little bit on what it takes crew-wise, the preparation? I mean, it's easy for us to think about it, not actually imagine us doing it, but the swim is one thing, but there's a team of people around you and other preparation that happens to execute that, both from the timing window, when to do it, etc. So could you just share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think the behind the scenes for any of these events is a lot more than people realize. Just talking about Swim Oz right now, we were there last night and today, and like all the setup and preparation that Bonnie has done, most people won't even recognize it. It's all behind the scenes. That's kind of how my swim was, is I had all this stuff behind the scenes. We had an emergency action plan. We had the California Highway Patrol, the Coast Guard, the Harbor Patrol all on alert. We had the Mavericks, big wave surfers that have jet skis on alert. I had 9 crew members, including the deckhand and the pilot. We did a jet ski, a 14-foot kayak, and a boat. I got shark shields donated. We had every single thing I could control, we controlled. So that when I got into swim, all I had to do was swim hard and have fun. And that's exactly what happened. My crew did their job behind the scenes, and everything was executed. We did an observer to make sure I followed the rules to a T, to make sure every single person followed those rules. And she was every 30 minutes writing things down. So it was definitely orchestrated really well. Yeah.
Now, that's great information for a marathon swim and all the preparation and all that. We pulled up here today. I think this is the first time either of you have been at this race site. Chad, what type of things are you looking for and kind of scouting out when you get to an open water event for a venue that you've never even been to?
Good question. So really, it's nice being here the day before, a little bit less pressure, but getting out into the water, feeling what the water feels like, and then for me, probably one of the more important things is getting to a few of the buoy spots where you're going to be lifting up your head and looking where you're going to be going next. So on a day like today, not a whole lot of glare, not too much sun, usually pretty good conditions, besides just a little bit windy, but tomorrow, sun's coming up. It's going to be a pretty early race, and so especially when the sun's rising, one of your turns is probably going to be in direct sunlight. So when you're scattered, you're trying to swim really fast, you're trying to lift your head up, you might have people around you, and you're headed straight into the sun. It's actually pretty difficult to see the next buoy. And so typically when I'm out here in a warm-up swim, I'm trying to get a sense of, okay, there's that little buoy that's going to be right there tomorrow, but like what's the big geological feature that's like impossible to miss? So like, is there a ridge or a big tree or like maybe a little house that is going to be a lot easier to see if I'm kind of blinded by sun in a specific direction? So that's probably like one of my top things I'll do. And then yeah, it's mostly just getting ready for what the water's going to feel like. Is it going to be a really cold venue? Is it going to be a warmer venue? For me, sometimes that's the difference in warming up versus not warming up. So in a lake like this, water's really, really nice. Warming up, you're not going to get too cold after warming up, so it makes more sense to warm up. But in a really, really cold water venue, even if you have a great warm up, you're going to get out. You might start shivering and like undo all the good that came out of your warm up. So you're trying to make decisions like that, just kind of last minute optimizations for your race.
Kat, what about your preparation as you arrived at the venue today? What did you see? What info were you trying to take in that will help you execute tomorrow?
I think pretty much everything Chad said was spot on. Looking at what's the most direct route, what do I need to decide on, how close do I need to be to the sighting buoys? Should I have them on my left side or right side? The start and the finish. Is there going to be wind tomorrow? I don't think so. So that's a good thing to note. If there is wind, you probably want to grab a little bit into it if it's going to push you back. But everything Chad said was spot on.
Now, tomorrow, race day can bring many variables, as you two have alluded to and even mentioned. What type of gear do you need to have just to be ready to be prepared for any of those conditions?
Yeah, I think first thing that pops into mind is clothing out of the water, honestly. So the water is the water. You're going to be wet in the water. Make sure you've got goggles that are good for sighting, which sometimes for somebody who's new to open water means probably getting a different pair than what you're used to in the pool. You might be swimming indoors. You might have clear goggles. You might want to look into some mirrored, smoked, or glare-resistant goggles that have a bit more of a wider frame, just for a bit more visibility. And then you really want to make sure that you're keeping yourself ready on shore, so that when you actually enter the water for the start, you're keeping your hands warm, your feet warm, your head warm. I feel like that's what's helped me most. And kind of on top of the warm-up thing, if you get out of the water after warming up and you get cold and your hands clam up or whatever, like you just undid all the good that came out of warming up. So you want to stay warm kind of up until the moment you get back in the water for the actual race.
What about the preparation in the morning? So you're gonna wake up, the race is early in the morning. We've got an early departure tomorrow. What do you do, Kat, food-wise, to prepare? What's your morning routine? Coffee, food, there's a curfew drive to get here. Can you just walk us through like how early you get up for a race like this and what you're doing before you arrive at the venue?
I pretty much will get up like 5 minutes before I need to leave the house. I'm very much of like sleep is the most important thing on the planet to me. Like pretty serious. So I'll probably wake up and throw some oatmeal and coffee in the to-go mug and then just eat that in the car ride over. I know some people get up earlier and stretch and maybe take a warm shower. I don't know, I think there's plenty of time here at the venue to do that warm up, do that stretching, like Chad said, get in the water. So I always opt for sleep. Yeah, but I'll probably have oatmeal and coffee.
Now, we have a bunch of open water newbies. We've been talking to a few that have never done open water races. We've gone over quite a few tips. Chad, do you have any other tips for people that have never done an open water race before tomorrow?
I don't know if it's a tip, but it's my kind of like, I would say that you're going to enjoy it maybe a lot more than you think you're going to enjoy it right now. And I remember growing up and little bit different because these were ocean swims. We go around the pier, and like all of us were pretty terrified before getting in the water. And we all swam together in our age group program, and then we get out of the water after, and like everyone just had the biggest smile on their face, and you're talking about like, oh, this guy bumped me. Oh yeah, that's nothing. Like this guy punched me in the face, and it's like all these fun war stories that you get out and you realize that it was like, yeah, he kicked the crotch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I thought you said you did want to get
And so like you're kind of nervous going into it, like a good nervous, like for any race that you'd be getting ready to do, but afterwards it feels so much more worth it, and you feel a lot more accomplished. And so the tip is relax and know it's going to be a lot of fun, and enjoy it out there.
So this venue is gorgeous. We're in Northwest Arkansas. We've got a mountainous scene. Great, huge lake. First time having this race here at this venue. It's all of our first time in Northwest Arkansas, and we've all enjoyed some of the amenities around town through this weekend. I've gone for a couple runs. You guys went for a bike ride today. What's been your observation of this community so far, just coming into seeing how much support there has been for this race, and kind of seeing the potential in the future for this race? Just talk about your experience with the community.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said the word potential. Like that's what I see sheer excitement from everyone, from those that have raced open water and done the Wednesday series to people this is their first time in the open water. It's very much what I'm gathered from the community is they're all here in support of each other and just here to push themselves, like just here to push themselves and have fun. And that is the point. That is why there's the Oz wave. Is that anyone can come in, put things on, put whatever's going to make you feel comfortable in the water, and just enjoy it. It's one stroke after another, you'll finish. And I think it's awesome seeing coming from the Bay, coming from swimming Cal, swimming at Stanford. We see a lot of swimming. And I don't, Northwest Arkansas isn't what I think of as a big swim hub. But seeing all of you guys out here is really special, and I think this is going to grow into a really awesome event, even bigger than we see today. So I'm excited.
Thanks, Chad. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Kat and I stole away for like 2 hours this morning to ride bikes, selfishly, and it was so coming here and like seeing a community that just values the outdoors and values being in nature is like really special. And I say that coming from like California, where there's a similar vibe, but Kat and I hop on the trails and like seeing Kat and I were like laughing our heads off. It's like a family going down a pump track with a toddler on the top tube and then like an infant being pulled, and like this guy's ripping down a pump track, and I'm like, this is. Kat was like family goals, and I was like, yeah, for sure. And to know that the community values kind of like both family and also that outdoor connecting in nature is like so special. And we saw on the trails this morning. I'm sure tomorrow with like close to 300 competitors, it's going to be totally apparent again. So yeah, it's just like it makes it really magical that this is a really neat place to organize a race, but also all these different really great ways to connect with nature, with your community, with your family, with your friends. So.
I think people like us who love Type 2 fun love being surrounded by a bunch of people who love Type 2 fun. So there's definitely that nature going on here in Northwest Arkansas. Suffering, enjoying the pain, and the experience of what you get to see during the process. So good luck to both of you tomorrow. We look forward to watching the performance you're going to put on. John and I are going to have ourselves a nice little paddle out there in the water. We look forward to seeing everybody else enjoying the water tomorrow. That's it for this episode of Social Kick Podcast, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. All right. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah. Have fun. Grab a drink.